Hey, what's up, guys? It's Andrew Santelski. I'm giving you my UFC 270 Nagano versus Gane early leans. This fight takes place this coming Saturday, January 22nd. So we're still 6 days out, guys. Just giving you some early leans for this card. I always give my official predictions the day of. I think that's the only time you can really give your official predictions. So much shit changes during fight weeks. Some of these fights are going to get canceled, changed, probably due to COVID-19 protocols, stuff like that, injuries, fighters not making weight, just all types of things. I don't know how you can give your official predictions when there's just a week in between time and that. But regardless, I'm going to give you my early leans. Still plan on giving you my official predictions on fight day itself, because my opinion changes over the course of the week too. So starting with the first fight of the night, we have a welterweight fight between Jack Della Maddalena, or JDM, versus Pete Rodriguez. Pete Rodriguez taking this fight on short notice, 4-0, man, as a pro, so he hasn't been around long. And man, he's four knockouts, but he hasn't gone outside of the first round. Obviously, JDM, man, this guy looked great on the Contender Series, man. I was really impressed by this guy, man. He was an underdog too to Ange Lusa when I watched that fight in mid-September, and he dominated him, man. And this could be a next up-and-coming guy that they have coming out of Australia and New Zealand. So he's going to be a good name brand for over there. 25 years old, still, he's in the prime of his career. But he's in the Shark Tank of the welterweight division. But I see JDM really getting this job done, man. Kind of using ground control on this guy. Possible TKO finish on the first or second round. I don't know if we have odds for this fight yet. Let's check it out, guys. UFC 270. Do we got any odds for this? Yeah, we do. Minus 300 on Bet Online for JDM right now. Plus 250 comeback on Pete Rodriguez. So, non-bettable fight, guys. I'm sure a lot of guys are going to use JDM for parlays and stuff. But yeah, my pick will be JDM. Vanessa Demopoulos against Silvana Gomez-Juarez. And this fight was originally scheduled for yesterday, but it got postponed a week. And I was on Demopoulos at first, on Juarez, and I'm kind of on Demopoulos, man. I think she's the younger fighter by about 4 years. Even though she lost to Aldridge, I was impressed by her toughness in the fight. Juarez got submitted by, Guipa? Godinez? Yeah, Lupita. Yeah, so I'm going to go with Demopoulos here, man. Like I said, this fight is kind of a long pick-em odds. Minus 140 for Demopoulos, plus 120 for Gomez. But no bet for me, but my pick will be Vanessa Demopoulos. Next up, Michel Pereira against Andre Fialho. And I think this is a dangerous fight for Michel. This guy's really thrived as an underdog and in pick-em fights. But he was disappointing, obviously, with that disappointing loss to Diego Sanchez with that illegal knee. But we're looking at these. Look at these lines: minus 290 on Michel Pereira, plus 245 on Fialho is a finisher, man, and minus 290 for a guy that likes to play around in there. And Michel Pereira, I think the value's all on Fialho here. I'm gonna actually take Fialho for an underdog pick here. If Michel Pereira dances around a little bit too much, man, I could see him getting cracked and put out. So my pick will be Fialho. Ronnie Barcelos against Victor Henry. I'm excited to see this Victor Henry make his debut. I'm actually on Henry here. I don't know if there's odds out. I remember there were odds at some point, but there's so many fucking odds. Okay, yeah, there are odds out. Minus 350 for Barcelos. Plus 290 comeback on Henry. Barcelos shouldn't be a minus 350 over anybody, man. I can see this fight being a real close fight. I'm going to take Henry here, man, by decision. Jazz the Vicious against Kay Hansen. I wasn't really impressed by Jazz the Vicious in her Contender Series fight. Yeah, she does have length and size in her fight. We haven't seen Kay Hansen fight in a long time. I'm excited to see her back. She's a young fighter. I'm going to pick Hansen here, even though she's at a reach disadvantage. She's minus 250. I'm going to go with Hansen here for an early lean. Next up, Tony Gravely against Simon Oliveira. Gravely was looking good in his last fight. He got caught. He played around with Nate Maness too long. He looked really good, though. He wanted to keep it standing. Gravely is a top-notch wrestler, man, if he chooses to use it. I like Tony Gravely here, man. There's a lot of Contender Series fights on this, but Tony Gravely is a tough out, man. Hopefully his chin isn't too compromised now. This guy's a good fighter, though, man. Minus 245. My pick's going to be Gravely right here. Matt Frevola against Valdez. I wasn't too impressed by Valdez in the Contender Series. He handled who he was supposed to handle, but he was even gassing out. Man, Matt Frevola, a guy that was kind of durable. He hasn't been durable his last fight in that, man. He's been put out, man. He's been susceptible to that knockout. I think he comes with a good camp, though. He trains with he trains with Billy Q, and all those guys in Tampa. Valdez, yeah, he handled Patrick White accordingly. He's got some finishes. I think the guy's got some gassing issues. I like Matt Frevola here, man. As long as Frevola avoids getting put out real early, I think this is his fight. He can take control, possibly finish Valdez with submissions, in the second or third. Michael Morales against Trevin Giles. Giles dropping down to welterweight. Don't know how good of a move that's going to be. I mean, the guy was having some pretty good success at middleweight. I mean, he wasn't a top-notch guy or nothing, but he was holding his own. And he was actually beating Duplessis in their prior fight, but he got caught too. Michael Morales, another guy coming over from the Contender Series, and I'm gonna pick him here, by decision or knockout. I'm gonna side with Morales here. I'm not too high on Giles, so I'm gonna go with the Contender Series guys and Morales. Stamann against Syed Nurmagomedov, two guys that haven't been active. Stamann's a 2-1 underdog. I'm going to side with Stamann here, even though I don't like his reach disadvantage. Rudolph Vieira against Wellington Turman, two guys that you should never bet on and never trust. I'm going to side with Vieira here, man. I just think he's a little more well-rounded. Both these guys are submission guys, minus 260 odds. I don't trust either of these guys. I'm going to side with Vieira here. Ilya Topuria against Charles Jourdain. Man, Jourdain taking this fight on late notice, but man, he put on a hell of a fight in his last fight against Andre Ewell. That was only a couple of weeks ago. Topuria is a minus 500. Ridiculous value on Jourdain. I'm still going to side with Topuria to get the job done, so my pick will be Ilya Topuria. Brandon Moreno against Davison Figueiredo. I like the fact that Figueiredo's been training with Henry Cejudo. I really do like that aspect of the fight. If that's the case and his chin's not too compromised and the weight cuts too much, this could be a very close fight, man. And I'm going to side with Davison here, man. I think there's a lot of pressure on Brandon Moreno to retain the title, to be the first Mexican to hold a belt. And like I said, there's a little animosity on the line, and I like the fact that Davison's taking his training seriously now, and he's training in Arizona with Henry Cejudo. So I think the value's all on Davison here, man. I'm going to take Davison plus 150. Ngannou against Gane. I was leaning Gane very early when this fight was made. I really think that there's nothing wrong with leaning that way, but with the current odds, him sitting minus 147 on 5 dimes, then bet online. I think the value's all in Ngannou here, man. I think Ngannou is really going to try to make a statement with this whole contract negotiation, everything that's going on with this guy. Wants to box Tyson Fury. So there's a lot on the line for this guy, man, and I still think Ngannou is a force to be reckoned with. As the fight goes on, yes, it's going to favor Gane, but I think Ngannou can fight a smart fight here and still win. I'm going to side with Ngannou here, man, but I can't fault anybody for siding with Gane here. But my pick will be Ngannou. Guys, these are my early leans. Thanks for joining me. I'll give out my official predictions come fight day.